right, we're back. AM 580, 95.1 FM, News Talk, WGAC Augusta. Joining me live in studio is Columbia County Administrator Scott Johnson. We're currently, the SPLOST that we're on right now runs out 2016, right?
That's correct, 2016.
And the reason that you're trying to get this up and running as quickly as you are is that you want to make sure that if something goes wrong and that it fails, you've got the ability to plug another plan in before the one that we're under runs out.
Yeah, that's right, Austin. I mean, you know, SPLOST has been very beneficial to Columbia County, and we just don't want to allow this to run out for something that we did.
Al, I think we can squeeze you in here. Al Gray's on the air with you. How you doing, Al?
Doing great. I got a question and a quick follow-up, I hope. The parking deck, Scott, I think it was listed as 200 spaces for 19.2 or 19.4 million. Is that correct?
The $19.2 million that you see there is a combination of the Justice Center renovation itself and the garage. I believe the garage was about $4 million of that.
Okay. Well, that's good because the parking deck downtown, 650 spaces for, $12 million. So it really, those numbers didn't make sense. So you explained that. The second question I got is about the proceeds. We had some discussion a couple months ago about this banking RFP that Columbia County has that the proceeds of the sales tax presumably would go into. And I was wondering if you would be willing to come back on this show and let's have a round in public discussion of that whole transaction, because I've had a chance in the last couple of months to, really slow down and take a really slow look at that and a careful look at it. And I think there's some questions that need to be answered.
Well, of course, Al, anytime you want to talk about that, I'll be glad to. I know you came to my office and we answered what I thought were all of your questions then, and be glad to answer your questions.
Oh, he's always got questions.
That's right. And that's fine, and I have no problem doing that. But, I will still stand behind the fact that we're a transparent government. So, if this is the venue that you want to do that in, I'll certainly do that if Austin entertain it. But I invite you to my office anytime to talk about that.
This public policy presentation on agraynation.com is brought to you by Cost Recovery Works, where vigilance builds value. Well, Scott Johnson, there have been some very interesting developments since last time we talked. Back then, y'all couldn't identify the Commission Finance Committee member who essentially redirected a huge 5-year Columbia County banking contract to Georgia Bank and Trust after another bank, First Citizens, won the bid. But lately you've gotten really good at finding and disclosing facts about Pam Tucker. It's the darndest thing I've ever seen. Austin Rhodes insinuated that you were, quote, looking for dirt, unquote, on Ms. Tucker during a vacation. Her conversation got very efficiently recorded and replayed, and there was even a dust-up involving, of all things, a banker. Heaven knows it wasn't one of those Georgia Bank and Trust bankers. No one dared do that back in the banking contract days when it went down. A majority of the commission back then, including 2 out of 3 on the finance committee, were GB&T shareholders, and one of them was the chief operating officer of the bank. So what are the new developments? Well, that bank wound up being the 2016 flagship bank of the entire American Banking Association when CEO Dan Blanton became the chairman of that national group. The ABA was regaled, like all the folks around here, through heavy advertising from GB&T about their slogan, doing the right thing. From everything I can see, there is absolutely no question that the executives of that bank were doing the right thing for themselves. Your doings are trickier because your finance committee member and the finance department were doing the thing right. Yes, sirree. Y'all were doing the thing right, In the last 15 months, the United States Attorney of the Southern District of Georgia, arguably an unwitting protector of this entire mess, left his job after 8 years. only 6 months ago did his successor take office. In the last 15 months, GB&T sold out at a premium of around $49 a share, up from the pathetic $9.17 in the dark days of 2009, just before your secret finance committee member swung over $100 million of Columbia County money into rescuing them. Meanwhile, the employees of 83% of area banks who weren't Georgia Bank and Trust employees, who lost everything in 2009 and never recovered and got no help from you, plus the 100 dismissed Georgia Bank and Trust employees, well, I think they might be very interested in this presentation. What's worse, we read that you are quoted as seeking retaliation, or threatening retaliation rather, against one of them for questioning not only Tucker's departure, but that of another division director as well. This was and is a national scandal, and you're in the middle of it. Columbia County Finance got caught doing the thing right, but the taxpayers down there didn't even get a peck on the cheek. They ain't gonna be happy with you. Once again, this is Errol Flinger Al with an opinion piece on GrayNation.com, brought to you by Cost Recovery Works Incorporated, where vigilance builds value. Thank you.